Welcome everybody to another Blue Bear Quilts Live. I'm participating today in the August Designers Tips and Techniques. I'm using a new microphone today, so if for some reason you can't hear me, be sure to let us know in the comments. And please give us lots of comments and say hi and where you're from, and give us thumbs up and likes and hearts and anywhere you happen to be watching this. And because of the way we're doing the camera today, I won't be able to see your comments, but I promise I will respond to all of them after this is over. So what I'm going to be showing you today is how to make this braided table runner. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I think it would work for all seasons. It's very colorful, and it's made with these squares and these chisel shapes, and the chisel shape, I'm going to show you 4 different ways to cut those out. I also made some napkins to go along with the table runner, and I call these my not to have on spaghetti night napkins. And the table runner and the napkins are made with my new fabric line called Cocoa Chic with QT Fabrics. It's currently being ordered by shops, quilt shops and fabric stores, and will be available in quilt stores in January of 2020. If you like this fabric and you'd like for your store to carry it, I've actually created a letter for you on my website. It's on the page that says Cocoa Chic Letter, and you can go to that page on my website and download a letter that has all the information about the fabric line and shows some projects that people can make with it. So if you'd like to have this fabric in your shop, be sure to go and get that letter and either bring it in or email it to your quilt shop. So the first technique that I'm going to show you for how to cut out those shapes, of course, is going to be AccuQuilt. And we're going to be working with the 8-inch cube. And in the 8-inch cube, they have a 2.5-inch square. And that's the die that we need from the 8-inch cube. The other die that we need comes from the Mix and Match 8-inch block companion set. And there's a chisel die that's 2x4 finished, and that's the other die we're going to be using. So when we use AccuQuilt, we have to cut out pieces that are a little bit larger than the actual shape of the die. So in other words, for a 2.5-inch square, we're actually going to cut out rough cuts that are about 3 inches square. And you would, if you wanted to cut out lots of squares, you would place the fabric over all 4 of these and cut out 4 at one time. And you actually can do 6 layers of fabric, so 4 times 6 is 24. You could cut out 24 squares in one pass. I have about 4 squares here, and I'm going to lay them over one of the squares and we'll cut them out. You put the mat on top, and you run it through with the label next to your belly. Then on the next die, the chisel die, the rough cuts need to be about 3x5. And the other thing is that we want to have mirror images of this chisel shape. So in order to accomplish that, we have to have one piece of fabric right side up and the other piece wrong side up. So basically they're wrong sides together. So I'm going to be cutting out 4 here, and you'll notice that I have both of them wrong sides together. So I lay the fabric over the chisel shape. And to get the square one, we give the mat a little love, slide it off, and there are our perfectly cut out 2.5-inch squares. And now on the chisel shape, we're going to put the mat on. Again, we put the label next to our belly and run it through the machine. And this happens to be the Go Big Cutter, which is their electric one. Again, we give the mat a little bit of love and slide this off. And there are our perfectly cut out chisel shapes. And you'll notice that because I had them reversed, they are mirror images of each other. That's what we wanted. So that's how you cut out the pieces with AccuQuilt. Now, in order to use the next tools, regular rotary cutting rulers, we need strips. And because it's a 2.5 inch square and 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangle for the chisel pieces, we need 2.5 inch strips. You can get those from jelly rolls, or you could cut them on a 2.5 inch strip cutter on your AccuQuilt, or you could use the Creative Grids Stripology ruler, which is a really easy way to cut 2.5 inch strips. And Blue Bear is right here overseeing the whole process today. So for the black ones, we need 2.5 inch strips. And then we need, the black one is the one that we need 2.5 inch squares for. So we would take this Creative Grids ruler that's called Get a Grip. You get these in quilting stores, and it's 2.5 inches by 6.5. So we would lay it on the fabric like this and cut on both sides, and we would have perfect 2.5 inch squares. So that's how we would get our squares, and we would have those all cut out. Then the next ruler that I'm going to use is the Creative Grids Quick Trim and Circle ruler. And this ruler is good for cutting out the chisel shape because it has white lines right here, and then it also has a dashed line right here that's at the 1/4 inch mark. So I'm now going to take and lay this on the cutting mat with my rectangles, and my rectangles have been cut out 2.5 by 4.5 inches. I'm going to lay it on my cutting mat, and I'm going to take this white line and I'm going to put it on the left side of the rectangle, and then I'm going to take this dotted line and put it right in that corner, the upper right corner. So the white line's on the side and that's on the corner, right like that, and then we lop off this corner right here. And we end up with those perfectly cut chisel shapes, and again, because we did them wrong sides together, they're mirror images of each other. So that's one ruler that will cut those out. Then another ruler is the Creative Grids Folded Corner Clipper. And again, we need our 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles that have been cut out. And now we're going to take what is the bottom edge of this ruler. See how the numbers are right side up there? So we're going to take this bottom edge and put it along the right hand side of our rectangle, and then we're going to take this cutoff angle and put that right at the top. So that cutoff is going to be in the upper right corner, and the rest of it is going to be on the right hand side. And we're going to lop this part off. And there we go. We have that rectangle shape that we need again, and a mirror image. So that was the Folded Corner Clipper ruler by Creative Grids. And then this last ruler, I'm betting many of you have this one. This is the Binding Tool by TQM Products. And again, we're going to take our 2.5 by 4.5 inch rectangles, and we're going to take and place the right side of this ruler with the angle going up to the right. We're going to take the right side of this angle and put it on the right hand side of the rectangles, and we're going to take this cutoff top and put that in the upper right hand corner. So we're going to line it up right like that, and then we're going to lop that corner off again. And so again, we have perfectly cut out chisels, and they are mirror images of each other. So we have our squares cut out, we have our chisels cut out, and now let me show you how we lay it out to create this braided table runner. So we start off with a 2.5 inch rectangle, and then we have our mirror image pieces, and you'll notice that on this side the angle goes to the left, and you'll notice on this side the angle goes to the right. So that's how I have them laid out ahead of time. So you start off by placing a black square there, and one of these where the angle goes to the left right there, and you take and then sew the square to the top of that chisel piece at 1/4 inch. Sew it right along there like that. So here this piece is actually sewn. So it's sewn right along there. Press it towards the square and lay it right there. And make sure that this left side is a straight line there. Then you're going to take and put one of the chisel pieces that goes with the angle to the right and put it right below the square like that. Now that we have this section completed, we're going to take another one that goes to where the angle goes to the right, and we're going to sew it right on top of those two pieces. And this would actually match up because of the 1/4 inch if it was sewn. And again, you're looking for a straight right line there. Now that we have all of those pieces together, we take another one of these where the angle goes to the left, and we sew a square on the top like that, press it, and then we line it up here. We line up the black so that that intersects there, a nice straight line there, and then press that. Then you'll notice that right here this is now together, so we take one where the angle goes to the right, we sew it on right there. Then we take another one of these, press these together, put one there, sew it like that. Then again we have a space here, so one of these where the angle goes to the right here, and then take another one of these units and press it here. And so you just keep going until your table runner gets as long as you want. And I'll tell you how long mine actually was. It was 14 by 50. And so at some point when it gets as long as how you want it, you have to lop off part of it. So this was the part that I had to lop off on the top, and I'm not sure where my part is that was on the bottom. But you do that, actually maybe this was the bottom, maybe I lopped it off here. So maybe it was probably like this. So I lopped it off so that you get a square, nice square angle. Then coming back to the table runner, then after you've got this all squared off, I added a border that was 1 1/4 inch, an inner border, and then I added the outer border that was 4 inches, and then put a nice backing on it. This is also from the Cocoa Chic fabric line. And then I put the terracotta binding along the edge. So that's basically how you create this braided table runner, and the quilting is really easy. Basically all I did was follow these lines, and with a ruler that goes, I used my straight edge foot and followed it along a ruler and just extended it out, so I crisscrossed it so that it went both directions, and that's a super easy way to quilt it, and it looks really nice on the back as well. So if people are interested in actually making this table runner and you'd like a pattern, please note in the comments that you'd like for me to create a pattern, and perhaps I'll go ahead and do one. And also, if you'd be interested in taking a virtual class to learn how to make this, put in the notes that you'd like to have a virtual class making this particular table runner. Now I'd like to show you a couple other things. I'm also participating in a blog hop right now that's called Quilt Block Mania, and there are probably 40 different quilt designers that are participating in this for the month of August, and the theme for August is back to school. Now many of them are applique blocks where they have cute little things like owls reading books and basketballs and backpacks. This one happens to be a traditional block that I did, and it's called Girl's Favorite, and it meets the theme because when a girl goes to school she could have lots of favorites. It might be her favorite teacher, her favorite class, her favorite boyfriend. It might even be her favorite hot lunch. So if you're interested in seeing all the wonderful blocks that are for free, they're all available for free, go to my Instagram account and see yesterday's posting, and you will see all of the different links to click on the various designers that are involved. And then I'd like to show you one other table runner. This one is made with Kaffe Fawcett fabric, very colorful, and it's all made from this one block. You just make these blocks and then you're able to create all of these blocks from that one block. So if you're interested in having a virtual class learning how to make this particular disappearing triangle table runner, put in the comments that you'd like to make this in a virtual class as well. So I hope you've enjoyed learning about making the braided table runner today. If you have any questions, be sure to put them in the comments and I will answer them. I am the last designer today for the designer's tips and techniques, so there isn't anybody after me today, but there is somebody tomorrow morning, and that would be Jen Belknap of the Smitten Chicken. Doesn't that sound like a fun name? So she will be tomorrow at noon Eastern Standard Time, and she is an Aurifil artisan, so I'm sure she will have some interesting things to share with you. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and Blue Bear and I say bye-bye.